In the last 10 to 15 years, what changes you have noticed in the management of law firms in India?
I think that really, if you ask me, my AZB as a firm started only 15 years ago. But when I looked around and saw other law firms when we just started, what we saw were the much more traditional law firms, much more formalistic, less nimble in decision making, worried about whether to have computers. And so I think that where you've seen this generation of law firms, whether it's AZB or smaller law firms, is that I think the ability to leapfrog a generation into technology, into how to deal with clients, that service is extremely important, that clients are your ultimate customers, that word of mouth is the best form of referral, so you have to have a happy client. I think the style, the negotiating delivery and methods, and the IT and the processes with which a law firm necessarily needs to be supported, I think these are some of the things that I've seen different.
Looking at the impending entry of foreign law firms into India, do you think Indian law firms are geared up to take on the global law firms?
I think they have a lot of catching up to do. I think the strength of a global law firm, if I look at it, is their ability to have such a significant and dedicated and continuous spend on knowledge management, precedence, staying up to date globally, being able to access several jurisdictions real time, and to present themselves to a client as being able to respond to almost any part of the world in which he needs advice. As an Indian law firm, our reach today is currently limited. We are normally quite scared of saying that we can advise on anything but Indian law. Our numbers as a firm are necessarily smaller. The headcount strength in any Indian firm is minuscule compared to the law firms abroad. And therefore I think the challenge is going to be that if we don't scale up, if we don't cement our own knowledge management systems, the fear is that obviously we will be caught short. And I think that is something we have to recognize and we have to improve on.
And which areas of law firm management do you think you need immediate attention for any law firm to attain or grow to the next level? It could be law firm at any size or any age or any level of growth they are in. So what are those areas which you think they need to?
I think a couple of things. I think most of us think we are okay on our IT and processes, but we are not. So I think the constant need to re-engage and re-examine whether we've done everything, because ultimately that, if it supports the lawyer, will take him to the next level without much pain. That is one. The second is, I think that we need to have the law firms start developing deep domains in certain practice areas, which will distinguish them and give them USPs. So are you an expert in competition law? Are you an expert in insurance, in IP? I think these are things that at least AZB is very clear that we have to project, that not only are we a good full-service M&A private equity law firm, but we have major practice domains in certain areas. So that I think is what most law firms should do, whether small or big. The next thing is, I think that most law firms should be able to demonstrate what their vision is. If you're a family firm, what is your vision? If you're not a family firm, where are you going? What's the chart forward? So a youngster who joins says, okay, if I'm going to hang my hat here for 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, what can I be reasonably comfortable? That law firm is going to deliver to me.
Thanks, Zia, for spending time with us today. One last thing is, in less than 15 years, you have created one of the best and the largest law firms in the country. So what were the key drivers? What was that behind it?
I think, Bithika, it all happened quite fortuitously. I was busy wearing my bandana gown every day, going and saying, yes, your lordship, no, my lady, and quite enjoying it. I think I liked the adrenaline every day. But I think India suddenly opened up. and there was a whole new world out there. People were learning Farah and Fama at the same time, and there were so many foreigners wanted to come in. I had done this sort of work when I was in New York for 5 years, so it happened to be being there for me at the right time in the right place. And also, I think I've always looked at the law with a sense of complete passion. I enjoy every day, most days. And I think that what I enjoy more now is to see our young partners take up the mantle so enthusiastically, so committedly. I mean, sometimes you just are in awe of the fact that their love for your letterhead and their letterhead is more than you could ever dream of.
Right.
And so I think that it's passion, it's hard work, it's a complete commitment to quality. The client is not as important as the letterhead. And I think that's what makes the differentiator between some law firms and others. And I hope AZB.
Thank you so much, Zia. It was really nice.
Pleasure, Bithika. All the best.